Let me show you a brief tour of Leanpub for authors. One of the reasons I'm recording this video is that whenever I interview Leanpub authors for a Front Matter podcast, I always like to end the interview by asking them if there's anything about Leanpub that we could build for them, or if there's anything that has them shaking their fist at Leanpub that when they get very frustrated and things like that we could fix for them. And one of the more common, if you could please fix this for me, responses that I get is people saying, I get lost on the Leanpub website, or I go away for a long time and I come back and I don't know how to navigate around the website. So we've got an article in our help center that I'm going to switch to in just a moment. But in this video, I'm going to walk you through that article. And then I'm just going to sort of click around in Leanpub a little bit. And the idea here is not to make a kind of perfect video or anything like that, but something good enough that you can casually watch and just sort of get to know Leanpub and come back to later on if you forget where you are. All right, here we are looking at the article in the Help Center, a brief tour of Leanpub for authors. And of course, there will be a link in the description of the video. So at the very top of the article, what we have is this sort of too long, didn't read kind of section where you can actually click, and I'll click these at the end of my discussion if I remember to, but you can just click to go to your dashboard, or what we call the author app, for any books you've created, any bundles of books you've created, any courses you've created, and any course tracks that you've created. Now, for most Leanpub authors, the thing that distinguishes you between an author and a normal Leanpub reader or customer is that you've created a book on Leanpub, or you want to. And so the most important thing you'll want to do is work on your book in Leanpub. And the way to do that most authors use is they go to the landing page for their book. And if you're signed into your Leanpub account, you'll see this blue edit button highlighted in the screenshot here. You can just click on that button, and that will take you to the overview page for your book. Now, this overview page is basically just like a big menu of all the little pages you can go to in the author app that are hopefully explicitly named enough that you can tell where they're going to take you and what you can do there. So for example, if you want to create coupons, you go to the coupons page. If you want to add co-authors, you go to the authors page, things like that. Now, there's something I call the escape hatch that's at the top right of every Leanpub page. Is this little menu item that we're pointing to here in the screenshot. This is a common feature of a lot of websites. The way we use it basically is to sort of distinguish between the two major uses of Leanpub. And just a little bit of background, one of the reasons Leanpub is kind of difficult to use sometimes is that we have two very different use cases that we're addressing: people who want to discover books and authors, and people who want to be authors of books. And you're going to use the site very differently. So hopefully the escape hatch on the top right there will always be a safe place for you to go if you get lost or need to figure out a path to somewhere new. So if you click on the menu, you'll see that there are a bunch of items on the left. So account, author, in this case, company, library, purchases, store, support, and university. You probably won't see company or organization or the university thing unless you have set up a company or university account on Leanpub. Account is where you go to sort of look at all your personal account stuff, your profile, and things like that. Purchases is really important for Leanpub readers in particular, because that's where they go to sort of, see the record of everything they bought, and it's distinct from their Leanpub library. But for you as an author, you're going to find there's lots of useful links on the right to create a bundle, create a book, create a course, and things like that. And also, of course, a link to our help center, which this article that I'm showing you is in. If you click on author, then the internal kind of menu, the menu to the little menu in the middle, is now scoped to your use case as an author. So you'll see links to where your books are, any bundles you've created, courses, course sets, any invitations you've received, say to sort of co-author a book, things like that, and then some metrics, and of course your all-important royalties section. If you click on books, you'll go to your, just like I showed in the screenshot here, you'll go to your published books section. You'll see in the menu on the left that there's also a section for unpublished books, books you put in stealth mode so that you can work on them in Leanpub, but if people try to go to the URL for that book, they'll just find nothing there. You can also find books you've retired and books you've closed, which means books you no longer want available for sale and that you've stopped working on. And there's also this really helpful menu at the top, which sort of reflects the menu that we were looking at in the sort of escape hatch a little bit earlier. If you click on if you click on the cover image for one of your books in these sections, the published, unpublished, etc., that will actually take you to that overview page that we were looking at before, which itself is broken down into a number of different sections like versions, for example. So if you want to create a new version of your book, you go to preview new version, or if you want to publish a new version, you go to publish new version under the versions section. There's also a very important section called just kind of generically settings. This is all kinds of things that you would do when you're working on your book, like writing the about the book section, things like that. Then there's the store section where you can set the pricing for your book and create coupons and things like that. And that's it for that short article, just to sort of, do it live a little bit. If I were to work on the Leanpub manual, I would go to the Leanpub manual page. I would click edit. That would take me to the overview page where I could, preview a new version if I wanted to and things like that, or publish a new version if I wanted to do that. And you would just scroll down to the bottom, find the button and click publish. And here's that escape hatch I was talking about on the top right here, where it is scoped because I'm working in the manual right now. It's scoped to my author side of things. I could click to see if I've got any bundles. I could go back to that escape hatch if I wanted to, and I could click on courses, or I could just click out of there and I could click on the courses section here. They take me to the same place. So both those menus are the same. They take me to any published courses that I have, things like that. And yeah, one other thing that I think I should probably mention here is let's go back to books. Let's go back to the manual. You'll see the screenshot is a little bit different. One of the most important new sections we have that's not in the screenshots I was showing earlier in the article, or at least not currently. I'll probably update that at some time soon. We've got these AI services that we're offering. Right now, actually, Peter is the primary author of this book, so only he could go here to sort of buy AI services. But if you've got a book, which I definitely check out, and you've watched this video, I definitely recommend you check out this AI services page, see what it says and what it's offering you. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It really does help people discover you as an author, and it'll help you discover other Leanpub authors and help grow the community and things like that. Thanks.